think it would be brave, creative, and controversial. I think this has to be in there. And witty, funny. Yeah, these few. There are many more projects that I'll be rolling out throughout the whole year, and we've already planned it, but I can't say anything yet. But there are a few that keeps me really busy.
All right. Now let's go to the very beginning. I know you've talked a lot about your childhood and all that, but let's talk about it some more. I understand that your childhood is actually pretty average. It was a normal upbringing. Can you tell us more?
I grew up in a family, I wouldn't say upper middle class, it would be lower middle class, where my mom worked as a hawker seller, and my dad is just a regular salesperson. But halfway through, I was around 5 or 6, my dad went bankrupt, and then it was my mom who's the only one that earns and provides for the family. So since young, I'm exposed to seeing my mom being really strong, really independent, of course a bit hot-headed from the hawkers. And I do help out since kindergarten until like primary school. And we do not have much since young age.
Right. What kind of food did your mother sell?
She sells Western food and porridge, so there'll be 2. And my grandma, my dad, my elder sister and me will help out.
Like, are you a good cook?
I wouldn't say as good as my mom, wouldn't say that, but we don't have much. We don't really have much. I do remember during high school and primary school, a lot of kids would have like new school bags, like vacations or anything throughout the year. We don't have all that. We didn't have all that.
So do you think that was when it started for you? You're thinking about how could I make my life a bit more prosperous to get what other people have? Is this when it started, you think?
I didn't, because I didn't compare what I have with others. My mom is such a loving person. She's really kind, and she taught me to be very kind since young. So I don't compare in terms of like what materials do I have. It's more like, why is it that other family practice this particular culture, but our family don't? So it's rather like me discovering what's going on entirely.
Right, okay. So growing up, you were a straight A student, and just curious, I mean, because I know that you have always plotted your social media career from a young age, but did you have other aspirations? I know you grew up, you were born in, I think, 1998. Yeah. And, by then, social media hadn't started yet, but that was kind of the trajectory of where things were going. Did you have any other ambitions?
I do. I wanted to be a doctor when I was like 13 or 14. I wanted to be a doctor. But I remember that one day my dad sat me down in the living room. We had like a private one-to-one talk. My dad is not much of a talkative person. He's really quiet, a typical Asian dad. Okay? So he told me that if you were able to, go to medical school, we couldn't provide for you because it's too much for us to provide. So it's either you study hard to get a scholarship, or we can't do much. So that's when I know I have to be serious in my studies. Yes. So one of the motivation. Another one is due to financial reasons, I couldn't pursue my ambition. Therefore, I dropped my entire science stream subjects and then I moved to accounting stream instead.
Right, okay. Coming back to that conversation you had with your father, yes, that must have been quite a difficult one for him to bring up. Yes. How did you feel at that moment?
I feel confused because again, I do not know what exactly is happening within the society or the financial hierarchies and status and so on. Because again, my parents are very protective and they're very loving. So I'm really grateful that I'm exposed to hardship, but I do not know what's going on exactly out there. So when I knew that, it actually pushed me to study harder for my results and scholarships. And I know okay, my family aren't able to provide. So that kind of makes me a good, quiet behavior. I have to stay focused.
You know, I can't imagine growing up in the age of social media. When I was at university, the last thing you want is your escapades going online and, you know, for it to live there forever. But you did, and you watched influencers, you know, and you watched how social media kind of took on a life of its own. Who were some of your favorite social media influencers? Who did you follow when you were a teenager?
I think I followed like quite a lot of models because my ambition, apart from being a doctor, right, I was watching this Victoria's Secret runway model show every year. You know, me being a girl, I wanted to be a Victoria's Secret angel. So I did follow like Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, like Kendall Jenner, or like a lot of this, and also Naomi Campbell, all this, yeah. There's a lot of models that I follow. Mostly models.
And you actually pursued that in your own time, didn't you? You actually paid for photo shoots and you know, headshots and things like that. I mean, when did all this kind of start?
I started at 14.
Wow.
I did that on like kind of secret terms. My parents didn't know it. My parents didn't know when I was like 14 because they want me to study hard. So I kind of did that during like weekends or school break. But it was more like a street art photo shoot where you wear like a dress, you know, some hats on the fashion on the street.
So you paid a photographer to take these shots, or
No.
you got a friend to do it?
It was more like a collaboration. So for me, it's like my training ground, I would say.
Okay, collaboration. So all this stuff went online.
Yes.
So technically you started your social media career at 14.
Yes.
All right. Can you describe what that was like, your image and everything, when you compare it to your persona now?
It was really fresh and young, definitely. Fresh and young. And
Mind you, you're only 23.
I was really young. Okay, I was much more younger, and then I was like really fresh, and then my makeup is really plain, so it's like youthful kind of look. It's cute, very cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Would you say innocent?
Yes, I would say so. It looks much more cleaner than those skincare kind of commercial pictures that we see.